Hi, welcome to Homeschool with Lani. Jackie.
Hi.
Today we are going to go over everything. So we'll start again and we'll touch on different things that we've already talked about, just so that way we can go over and remind parents of what our show is about.
Because I'm a new homeschool mommy and I still don't have it exactly down. And I'm like, Lani, teach me again. How am I supposed to do this? So if you're having the same questions at home and you're not real sure where to start, thanks for logging in.
So we created the program so we can help parents with new ideas and some tips and just getting them some resources that they're probably not aware that are out there. So for first-time school moms and dads, it's
Like
probably, it'll probably be beneficial, and you'll probably be like right on your toes paying attention to every word that's out there. But for parents who have already been homeschooling for a couple of years, sometimes you just need a refresher of new ideas, because sometimes the things you do every year get kind of old and you're just like, okay, they're doing the same thing every day. We do our spelling words every Monday, and then every Friday or whatever, I make sure that they know them. So what's a new way to do it? What's a fun way to do it? Just different things that sometimes you might not have the time to go in and look them up.
So you'll be so proud of me. I finally wrote into the school, and if you haven't done it yet for your child and you've decided to homeschool, write into the attendance counselor.
Okay,
So I did it.
Yep.
Whoop, whoop. I finally did it. I said, I, Ms. Jacqueline Hill, am exercising my right to homeschool love bug, also known as J.R. Hill. Actually, I didn't put the love bug in there. But so make sure, if you've decided to homeschool, you do let the school authorities know that you are exercising your right to do so that you don't hear from the truant officer, right? Okay, so I know that. And then let's review the laws real quick.
Yes.
So there's only 3 for Texas.
And so when we do our homeschooling, one of the laws is that we have 5 subjects to cover. So every show every day during the week, I should say, we're going to go over a different subject. So aside from making sure that we do those 5 that I'm going to go over right now, we also have to make sure that what we're teaching is bona fide. So you want to make sure that you are teaching real, true facts, and that they're not something that you're just coming up with, or you're not finding just out of the boonies or something.
Anything off of Facebook.
Yeah.
So don't teach your kid 1 and 1 is 3, even though in my world,
Yeah.
1 and 1 is 3. That is not bona fide information. The true information is 1 and 1 is 2. And that's the thing is, my mom keeps asking me, like, do you know what you're doing? Do you know? And I'm all like, I do. And I'm like, there's 3 Texas laws.
Oh, yeah.
And she's like, what are they? And I'm like, I know 1 is that they have to have true information. Number 2 is they have to be taught their 5 subjects. And number 3
is that it has to make sure that you have to make sure that it is in a text form. So you could use books. You can get information off of the internet. Just make sure that it's true before you teach it. Or you could use videos. Sometimes they sell, like when we did our dinosaur unit, there's a paleontologist who starts talking about all these dinosaurs, and you can use that. You don't always have to know everything.
But like Jurassic Park, is that considered a bona fide video with true information? Okay.
That's more like a fun video that
I tried to show JR Hercules, the Disney World, and then I realized that was not true information.
Yeah.
So make sure if you're getting videos that it's bona fide real information.
Yeah, because those kinds of things are fun to watch, but you want to get some true information out of that also.
And so what are the 5 subjects?
Yes. So the 5 subjects, we have to make sure that we always teach these 5. So they are spelling, grammar, math, reading, and good citizenship. And good citizenship is really just government and economics. So when they're little, they kind of don't really understand. So you can teach them like what it is to be a good neighbor before you actually go into the actual government and politics and all of that. So if your child is in Girl Scouts or Boy Scouts or in any of the like campfire and all of that, that's fine. You've covered that, and you don't even have to do it at home. It's just one of those things that already get.
I love
get
Girl
done.
Scouts and Boy Scouts and any kind of extracurricular. We're actually looking into maybe putting JR in a little Tiny Tigers program at the martial arts school across the way, just for socialization. But where else can homeschoolers find more socialization opportunities for their children?
They can get into dance. Smash has their camps. Also, so if you, we'll post that for Lisa. Yeah, they do dance. There are a bunch of dance places out there. There's, like you said, martial arts, getting them into sports, the community centers all over. Whenever you see that it's baseball season or football or soccer, my kids have done soccer and t-ball. With community centers.
Cute.
So, yeah,
and on
they're out there.
Facebook, right? They have homeschool programs.
Yeah.
So, of course, what we're talking about today are Texas laws and Texas resources. So, make sure you double check with your state's laws and resources. And Facebook is awesome because you can see what everybody's doing everywhere.
Yeah, that is true. Even though those are the only 5 that were required, we also teach themes. On our show, we'll teach themes. So right now we're doing ancient Greece, but there'll be a time where we do dinosaurs, space, sea life. And when we do that, we will also include science, art, geography, history, all of that kind of stuff.
I love art. I'm ready to make a mess.
Also, we'll also go over helping parents plan curriculum, plan their lesson plans for the week, utilizing tools that they might need that help make it more fun for the children so that they can actually pay attention while we do what we do.
Now, in one of our first shows, Lani had brought out her trifold poster board, and it was really awesome because it basically had 3 panels so that me as like a first-time homeschooler, I know my kid's interested in dinosaurs or space or whatever your kid is. Tell us the 3 panels on that trifold.
You start off with what you know. You always start off with what you know because that's where you got to start.
Exactly.
You know something about it, even if you don't know something, but you want to know what you already know so that way you can move forward. So you start off with what you know and you list everything. Then you go on to what you want to learn. And that's where you can extend the part of what you already know. So you know the earth is round, the world is round. So, but you want to know, why is it round? Sometimes they have questions like that. Sometimes they might get answered. Sometimes you might never find the answer. So why is the sky blue?
There's you go.
Yeah.
There's a scientific reason.
Yeah, there's a scientific reason, and you can find it.
And that's what's exciting about homeschool is that we'll get to learn along with our kids.
Yeah.
And we just feed off of their natural curiosity.
Yeah. So you'll have a long list in that center part because your kids will want to know a lot of things. And when you do that, you give them the resources. You give them books. You show them some videos, and let them take notes if they're old enough to take notes. When they're little, they'll talk to you while they're looking or reading, and you write them down for them. And you make your list, and then in the end, after you've learned everything, you've answered all your questions, you list all the things that you did learn.
To assess.
Yes. So that way you can go back and see, like, okay, we already knew this, but we found out this that has to go with that. So you learn something new. You always learn something new.
I'm excited. Now, how should I plan his day? I mean, you've homeschooled for years now, so you have more
she's
of a...
third grade, 3.
3. So, it's definitely more than me, which is none. And how should I plan out JR's, like, when he wakes up, should I do chores and then a lesson plan and then activity and then a lesson? Or how is it best?
It depends on your day and what you have planned for that day. It's not written in stone. So if you had plans to do reading that day and grandma called and said something had to be done and you took off that way, it's okay because it's not the end of the world.
Okay.
So, tomorrow is another day.
Good. As long as we're covering the 5 subjects every week.
Yeah. As long as they're done every week, or as long as they're done during the time while you set your academic calendar for. My husband and I sometimes will go 6 weeks or 9 weeks teaching, and then we give them like a 2-week break that sometimes ends up going into a month. And
Yeah.
and stuff. But we don't stop learning. A lot of like, because we take that break, it just means that we're not actually sitting down every day giving them like all of the stuff to do. Sometimes we might do it for one whole day. Sometimes we do it on a Sunday, and we try to get most of what we want to out of the way. And then Monday and Tuesday is just like, okay, make sure that we do our 20-minute reading at night, and make sure that they have their list of words, their vocabulary, or their sight words, what they're supposed to be doing.
And I know you had mentioned before that you do things in the car with them.
Yes.
So even if they're not sitting at the table
Yeah.
with their books and their pens and their paper, you're still
We're still
drilling
doing-
them.
yeah.
And they're still learning.
Yeah, and that is one of the great things about homeschooling, is that it doesn't always have to be in the same place. Sometimes we get out of work and we'll go straight to the bookstore. If we go to the bookstore, they're getting books usually on what we're learning about, and we'll read there, or we'll find out new information, and they'll be like, oh, I remembered I wanted to know that, and I'm like, see, now you remember, so we'll make a note, so that way when we go home we can like really go into more detail. Or if they found it out there, it's just like, okay,
It's
that's one of the
perfect.
things. Yeah.
And that's the thing, is we're really trying to tap into our children's curiosity that motivates them to want to learn how to read that information versus just having to regurgitate whatever the teacher gave them to pass the test. So I'm really excited. So how do I set up a calendar for JR based on the 5 basics? How would you
Okay.
recommend for someone at home? Or
To do, okay, so I do everything with tabs. I was like, I have to have them all set in there. So at Office Depot, they sell the 8 tabs, and even Target, wherever you go. My first one is schedule. And that's where I keep all the calendars and everything that we're gonna do.
so I need a calendar, and you
yeah.
at home need a calendar.
I'm like, just all of that stuff. I have the year here, and I have it kind of like, just for myself, I have it separated into like when we actually started, when I want to finish this this theme and stuff like that, just so that way I know. for
How
my
long should
sake.
a theme last, you think?
It just depends. If your kids are really interested, go longer than the 6 weeks or the 9 weeks. Usually that's a good amount of time, 6 weeks. If it seems like going within the 3rd week, they're kind of getting really bored, either the information that you're finding isn't like
Intriguing enough.
yeah, or it's just it's too early for them. Sometimes we've done stuff where it's just like, okay, they're just not getting it because it's not time to start teaching that. I'm like, because it's something I'm interested in and I want to do it.
That's right.
Yeah, but like dinosaurs can last the whole year if I let
Wow.
it. So I usually save it like, well, I told them going into Christmas, I was like, going into December, we'll start dinosaurs because, yeah, they won't get off of it.
Yeah, there's so much to learn about all that. And
Yeah.
then just the time history and giving them that reference, it's huge. It's mind-boggling to them. I'm excited about the space one, too.
Yeah.
But right now, we're going to start with
Ancient Egypt.
ancient Egypt. Ooh,
So-
walk like an Egyptian.
Yeah. The other day we played that song for them, and they're looking at
They're
it.
like, what is that, Mom? See, you can have that much fun with your kids. Get
And I told them, I was like,
creative.
my mom was there, and I was like, Grandma used to make me dance that all the time.
Oh,
So, we do that. So yeah, so just have your year calendar, have your monthly calendars. On my monthly calendars, I started writing out our vocabulary words that I want to focus on throughout the week. You can also have the way you said, like, how do you set up your day? I have an actual time calendar, which it's not really filled out because I'm not sure how our day is going to go yet. So I just know that at 11 we're going to have lunch and they're going to nap for an hour. We're at 12.
Do your kids actually nap?
Yes.
I'm so jealous.
They have to take a nap. And my aunt was like, okay, the kids don't take a nap anymore. They're too big. And I'm like, no,
What?
they're tired. Yeah.
Oh my God, I love a nap. Oh
Yeah,
my
they
gosh.
get so tired. So, especially when they wake up early, if they hear us moving around, like getting ready for the day and stuff, and they wake up, they're really going to take a nap. By the time that nap time comes, they're going down. I have a yearly brainstorming sheet in here as well. So it's just each month, and I'm just writing down like how long I plan on these things to go on and stuff. And I'll put my ideas in there too of what I want to do.
So I'm going to need one of these, and you're going to need one of these binders too. So you get your tabs. You set it up. The first one was schedule.
Yeah, your
and that's
schedule.
with all your different calendars, right?
Yeah. First one is schedule. And then I'll leave up, like I said, I'll leave up all the where I get all these pages and stuff because they're really helpful. This one I have in protector sheets because I'm going to do it for dry erase because they're daily. So if I'm going to fill it out that way, I'm not printing out different sheets.
So dry erase markers are going to be your friends.
Yes.
And those
All the
little protectors at the 99-cent store are going to be your friends so that you can reuse and recycle.
So that way you're not wasting so much paper. So then the next tabs are all my subjects. So I have reading, phonics, writing, math, science, art, and history and geography in here. And that way I can set it up. Now this page looks a little confusing. Let me find this one. So it looks a little confusing and it has a bunch of letters and numbers on here. So what that really is the letters are the books I'm going to use. So I'll pull it out.
Yeah.
So this book is called Complete Curriculum. So I'll put CC.
Okay.
So I know that I'm going to use the Complete Curriculum.
And these are awesome books.
Yeah.
Tell them where you got
I love
that.
these. This one I got at Barnes & Nobles. And they're through Flash Kids. So if you just look it up, if you don't have a Barnes & Nobles, you can order this online also through Barnes & Nobles. And then I'll stop real quick so that way I can let y'all know. If you are, if you go into Barnes & Nobles and tell them that you're a homeschool parent, they will give you an educator's card. Do you have your educator's card with you?
I need to go to Barnes and Nobles and get my educator card.
Yeah, and you get 15% off. So that takes care of your taxes.
Nice.
And on they have educator weeks, and you get 25% off. So that's when we really go crazy.
We love Barnes and Nobles. I had no idea.
Yeah, and they give you a card that's just like your because Barnes and Nobles does a $25. Thank you. A $25 members card. Oh. And that when you do you get discounts and stuff off of different books and stuff. But your educator's card is free. So it looks like this.
It's like a little heart apple.
Yeah.
I love that.
So you can get your card even as a homeschooler. And there's other places that you can get educator cards as well. Michael's gives you an educator's card.
For crafts.
For crafts, yeah, because we're always at Michael's. We're always at Michael's. And Joann's Fabric gives you one as well.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah, so you can just go and there's a lot of different places. If you just Google educators, what can educators get, you can get all of this stuff.
That's right. So go on Google, what can educators get, and then see Barnes and Nobles and
Joann's,
Target.
Michael's.
Do they do anything fun there?
No, Target I haven't seen, but I'm always at Target too. So.
Ah.
They give back to schools. But
Okay, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
then,
all, but not homeschools.
But that's every little bit counts. I mean, if you get 15% off, that is awesome.
Yeah, and both Michael's and Joann's is 15%. So that's a lot of fun, especially when everything's 99 cents.
I love 99 cents. So now, would you recommend for someone like myself, complete newbie to homeschool? I'm not a pro like Lani and her husband are. Would you recommend that we just go through this book every day and do one reading, one math, one spelling?
No, because then they get tired. They get tired really fast of just doing that every day. So what I do with my kids is I'll use this book. So I'll put CC, and I'll go to whatever page we're gonna work on. So we're gonna work on page 390, and that day we'll go through, let's say like through the first couple of pages because it's going all over nouns.
Oh,
so
okay.
we can go, and I could tell them up to 400. So we'll go from 390 to 400 that day, and that's all we'll do that day is go over nouns, talk about nouns.
And that's the grammar.
Yes, this is part of the grammar part.
And so you say like 20, 30 minutes per subject?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then break.
Yeah, and then we break and stuff, and we just kind of go over all of that. So on my sheet, I'll put CC, 390 to 400. And then as I go through those pages, when I go to grade them to see how well they did on that, that's all I have to put. All I have to do is use my key. Okay. So if I had said that they were going to do that, and it's on this little box, so when I do my grading, I'll put 1G, and I'll write down what their grade is, so I don't have to write down like the whole curriculum book, and they went over these pages. I can just look on here, and I'll go in and look under my key and see like what was 1G, and
you'll be able to see. So as a homeschool parent, do I have to turn in my kids' test scores to anybody?
No, not in the state of Texas. In the state of Texas, there are no standardized tests for private schools, and homeschoolers are considered private schools.
Now, are there any like baseline tests I can give my son before we actually get into the whole routine, and that I can give him again at the end of a thing to see where he improved?
Yes, at Barnes and Nobles they sell these little tests also that you can do. There's and it's also through the same company, through that Flash Kids.
Oh, love the Flash Kids.
Yeah, so they'll have a prep test.
Okay.
Book, and they'll show you how to use it. And there's instructions and everything on how to use it.
See, I always thought that'd be a good idea, because I know like when he did kindergarten last year in the regular schools, they gave him an assessment.
Yes.
And then they didn't give it to him at the end of the year, and I was like, well, how do I know?
Yeah,
I know he's improved. I just didn't know where he had improved.
Yeah.
And then the same thing even with me when I was in college. I was like, I wish somebody would have given me an assessment just to see where I was. And then they gave me the same test at the end to see, but instead they gave me like something else. Yeah. And so and then of course, if your child is homeschooling and you're concerned, oh, he won't be able to go into college, that's not true, because as long as they score well on their ACT, SAT scores, they're going to be let in, and they can be offered scholarships based on those scores.
Yes, they can.
Now, we can make transcripts for our kids?
Yes, we can. We can make transcripts.
It's, some parents may want to make a transcript, especially if their child is in and out of formal schooling and then into homeschooling, maybe if the school requires somehow. I think it might be helpful, but in the state of Texas, it's not required. Yeah. So yay.
I know. Yeah. So the Texas Homeschool Coalition.
Yeah.
I do this every time, right?
It's like, what? The Texas Homeschool Coalition Association.
Yeah, I get tongue-tied. Yeah, they have different sites on there, and they can actually help you print up a transcript for your child.
Awesome. Texas Homeschool Coalition
Association.org
or
.org.
.org is where you're going to want to go if you're interested in that.
Yeah, it's THSC.org.
Yes.
I was like, let me see. Hold on.
Yeah, so that stands for Texas Homeschool Coalition.
Yes.
.org. And and as you start playing on the Google, there's going to be so much stuff that I know will come up on homeschool. It's just that when I try to do it without the help of Lani, I just feel completely overwhelmed, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I doing to my kid? But I know with her guidance, we'll all be in great hands.
We'll do fine. Yes, we will. We are exempt from attendance laws. So we, same thing, we're considered like private schools, and they don't have to follow attendance laws. So the only thing that I say is please don't abuse your right to homeschool in Texas, because we are so free to homeschool, because your rights can be taken away. They have taken away parents' rights who are abusing, like they're not sending their kids to school, but they're also not homeschooling them.
Really?
So yeah, and the only way that can happen is if you get reported to CPS. So if CPS steps in and says like, okay, this is,
let's see your curriculum. You want your binder.
Yeah, you want your binder. Yeah, you want to be able to show it. So we are learning, we are doing something, we are not just sleeping in all day and watching
cartoons,
yes,
right, and being like, wee, that's real life. Okay, so definitely homeschoolers or homeschool parents, get your binders.
Yeah,
get your binders.
It keeps
ready.
you organized. It does.
Stay organized with it, and I didn't realize they could take away your homeschool right. Yeah. Because when I wrote my little letter, I took a hill. I'm exercising my right. I just thought. I have the right.
Yeah, you have the right until
you abuse it.
Yeah, until you abuse it and they take it away. But yeah, as long as you are following your 3 laws, then you can show like, nope, look, I have a bona fide.
A bona fide curriculum.
Yeah.
I have a binder.
Yeah.
We got a binder. We're already halfway
you're there. Yeah.
Now, how this program can also help those parents who want to help their children work more efficiently at home on their homework.
Yes.
And tell us how this can help them.
Sometimes when kids are at school, they are taught a certain style, which is the teacher's style, because she has 30 kids that she has to teach, and she can't go through everybody's style. So what happens is she'll teach their style. Your child might not be accustomed to her style or not learn off of her style. So they're having a hard time, and it could be in math, it could be in reading. They're just not getting it. So they make them go to tutoring. Then they go to tutoring, and you're working with the same teacher, which is still not helping, because even in tutoring, you still have about 10 or 15 kids still going to tutoring. So it doesn't help. So what you might want to consider doing is homeschooling or homeschool tutoring your child at home. Instead of them doing tutoring after school, you might want to take the time to follow our guidelines, and because we'll go over different teaching styles, because I have 2 children who are completely different, and they do not learn the same at all. So I already know how I need to teach one and how I need to teach the other. And so whenever we homeschool, in a day, they're never doing the same thing. One could be doing math, and the other one could be doing reading or grammar or something completely different, because if they're sitting down trying to do the same thing, one is getting it, and the other one is stressing out because they're not.
Oh.
Yeah. And
so
that's what happens at school.
Yeah, and then if you have different ages at home, so maybe you have a high schooler and an elementary child, that's another way that you can use this show as a resource to see, how do I work with different levels of my children at the table or at your coffee table.
Yeah.
We like to sit on the floor. We're very informal. And this way, and when the children are relaxed, I think that's when they learn the best.
Yeah.
Versus when you try to make it really hardcore stringent with them.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. So yay. So what are we going to start with today?
Today we're going to do several things. We're going to teach nouns. We're going to teach some things about Greece using our nouns. And we're also going to tell a mythology story. So that way, just something that we can do with the kids, and they can understand where we're coming from when we're talking about Greece. So
okay, good. So that's our intro to Homeschool with Lani. So now you know your 3 laws. You know how to set up your binder. You know what your tabs are for. And what else do they have to know that I forgot? Oh, don't forget to write your letter.
Yeah.
So that the truant officer.
Yeah.
All right. Good.
And if your child has never been to school, if you are homeschooling for the first time and you never registered your child for school, then you don't have to worry about anything. It's all taken care of.
Awesome. Okay, so log in with Homeschool with Lani for our next episode, in which case we'll be going over our basic nouns and reading and spelling. Is that right?
Yes.
Yee! Okay, thanks for logging on. Bye.
Bye.